Ever just feel like you can't focus? You know that feeling. Your brain's just buzzing, a million tabs open in your head, but you can't seem to lock on to the one thing you actually need to do. Well, the source for this explainer kicks off with a really provocative statement. Get this. Most people think they are lazy. They are wrong. And that right there, that's the key idea we're going to unpack. This isn't about you being a lazy person. It's not a moral failing. It's something else entirely. And that brings us right to our first big point. The argument is actually pretty simple. You're not lazy. Your brain chemistry is just fried. So what's the culprit here? What's frying our brains? Well, the source material calls it cheap dopamine. Now, this isn't that good, satisfying feeling you get from finishing a tough project. Nope. This is that quick, intense, super easy hit you get from, endlessly scrolling social media, hearing that little notification ping, or even just grabbing a sugary snack. And this is where we get trapped in this really vicious cycle. See, every one of those little hits sends your dopamine levels skyrocketing. But, biology has its rules. What goes up must come down. And here's the kicker. It doesn't just come back down to normal. It crashes way below your natural baseline. You end up in a deficit, almost like you're in withdrawal. And that's why normal, simple things, like, say, reading a book, suddenly feel impossible or even physically painful to do. And this chart just lays it all out so perfectly. Think of it like this. On one side, you've got cheap dopamine. Things like TikTok, notifications, sugar. You get that intense spike, but it always leads to a crash, which just makes you crave more. On the other side, you've got what we'll call slow dopamine. We're talking reading books, exercising, getting out in nature. This is a steady release. There's no crash. And instead of creating cravings, it actually builds your focus. They are two totally different paths for your brain. Okay, so if your system is fried, how do you fix it? The answer isn't just to try harder. That's not going to work. You need a full-on biological reset. And that brings us to the solution from the source material, the 7-day dopamine reset. So the whole thing is broken down into two really clear phases. The first 3 days, that's all about removal. You're basically going cold turkey to stop those crazy dopamine spikes. Then the next 4 days are all about replacement. You start carefully bringing back habits that build up that good slow dopamine we were just talking about. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of phase 1, those first 72 hours. And the source material is super clear on this. These rules are non-negotiable. We're talking no social media, no video games, no Netflix or any other digital entertainment. And here's the surprising one, no music while you're working. The whole point is to teach your brain how to function again without constant, easy stimulation. Now, let's be real. This is probably going to feel awful. You're going to feel anxious, maybe a little twitchy, and for sure, you will be incredibly bored. But here's the secret sauce to the whole thing. You have to reframe that feeling. As the source says, boredom is not the enemy, it is the medicine. The whole idea is that your brain will get so starved for any stimulation that suddenly doing that hard work will actually seem appealing. You're literally weaponizing boredom. Okay, so once you've made it through those first 3 days, we move on to phase 2. This is where things start to build back up. You can start bringing back certain approved activities. And we're talking about all the slow release stuff. Reading an actual physical book, writing in a journal, doing some heavy exercise, getting out for a walk in nature. These are the things that actually heal your reward system, not hijack it. And this is where the payoff really kicks in. The source claims that right around day 5, something just shifts. You'll notice a new kind of clarity. Conversations will feel more engaging. You might even feel like colors look brighter. The point is, this isn't just about white-knuckling it through discipline. It's a real, tangible healing process that you can actually feel happening in your brain. Okay, so you've done the 7-day reset. Awesome. But now what? You can't just dive right back into your old habits, right? You need a system to maintain this new baseline. And that's what brings us to the next big idea, the 4-hour rule. 4. That's the magic number. This is the foundation of the whole maintenance system. According to the source, the human brain can really only handle about 4 hours of truly elite, deep, focused work in a single day. So the entire goal becomes, how do you protect those 4 hours like they're gold? So how do you do it? Well, it comes down to 2 steps. And they're simple, but they're definitely not easy. Step 1, tackle your hardest, most important task right away when you wake up. First thing. And step 2, and listen, this is the big one. Do not touch your phone for the first 4 hours of your day. I mean it, not even a peek. That's how you protect that peak mental energy for the stuff that actually matters. And this whole system has a bookend on the other side of the day. It's called the digital sunset. The rule is simple. No screens for at least 1 hour before you go to bed. And look, this isn't just about falling asleep faster. It's about protecting the quality of your sleep, which is what regulates your impulse control and focus for the next day. It's basically setting up tomorrow's 4-hour rule to be a success. So let's recap. We've talked about the problem, the 7-day protocol to fix it, and the long-term system to maintain it. And all of that brings us to the final and most important point. The choice is yours. And this really gets to the core philosophy of the whole thing. You see, motivation, that's just a feeling. It's flaky. It comes and goes. But a system is forever. The big argument here is that this kind of discipline isn't about being restrictive. It's the exact opposite. It's what gives you true freedom. Freedom from distraction. Freedom from the algorithm. The freedom to actually control your own mind.
And so, everything we've talked about today really just boils down to one simple question. It's a choice. If you control your dopamine, you control your attention, and you control your future. But if you let an algorithm control it, well, you're just a slave to the screen. So the only question left is the one you have to ask yourself. Who's in control of yours?